This is Thriving Thoughts, a podcast that teaches you how to change your thoughts so you can change your life. I'm Dr. Sherry, clinical psychologist turned thought coach. In each 5-minute episode of the Thriving Thoughts podcast, we will discover one lie we believe about ourselves, others, or the world that lures us into a surviving mindset. Then we'll learn the truth that leads us into a thriving thought world. And to bridge the gap between knowing and doing, I'll teach you one practical thought tool you can start to use right away. Consider me your personal thought coach, and each episode your personal thought coaching session. I want you to thrive, to grow, flourish, and prosper. And here's your first truth. If you want to thrive, you have to choose to do the work. The daily deliberate work of changing the way you think so you can change your life. Welcome to the Thriving Thoughts community. Let's get ready to speak truth over the lies so we can thrive in any and every circumstance. Writer Agnes Farrow said, "What is Christmas? It is tenderness for the past, courage for the present, and hope for the future." Although not a definition, it is a prescription for our thoughts, especially when the holidays just aren't the same. This past Thanksgiving was the first one in years in which my mom, dad, and my brother and his family weren't together to collectively give thanks. My dad was just 3 weeks out of major surgery, so we had created a modified holiday plan for my brother's family to visit, stay in a hotel, and we would order in a quote-unquote traditional Thanksgiving meal. Just a few days before the holiday, my dad was having a particularly challenging day. My mom and I sat him down and asked him if he was really ready for a house full of activity. He replied by hanging his head, shaking it side to side, and began crying. In that moment, he was certainly mourning the loss of our traditional Thanksgiving togetherness. Yet, I imagine he also felt relief by our suggestion to cancel Thanksgiving. The three of us sat in quiet, crying for a few minutes after that. Certainly, we all knew this was the best decision for his health and my mom's peace of mind. Yet there it was, hanging in the air. Thanksgiving just wouldn't be the same. My family, I, had a choice this past Thanksgiving: to lament the loss of what once was and shroud the day in grief, or to give thanks in new ways. My brother and his family decided to grill a turkey and all the fixings at their home. I made a small casserole for my mom and I, as my dad's Thanksgiving meal would come from a feeding tube this year. And the three of us enjoyed a 2-hour visit. We even got to FaceTime with my brother and his family. We gave thanks. It was different, yes, but we refused to allow different to turn into mourning. Tenderness for the past, courage for the present, and hope for the future. My gratitude was ever more apparent this Thanksgiving, for I looked upon how it used to be with tenderness. I exercised courage for the present by using my thoughts to make me stronger in that moment. I changed the narrative of "I wish it weren't like this" to "I will have quiet time with myself and my dogs. I am blessed to have 2 hours with my parents. I'm grateful for the challenge of putting an entire Thanksgiving meal in one casserole." And I had hope for the future. Not that things would go back to normal, but that whatever the future holds, I have the power to face it head on. Changes don't have to turn everything upside down, cause disappointment, or even invite mourning. Changes can be acknowledged with a tenderness of spirit that enlarges our gratitude for each moment. Are the holidays different for you this year? Maybe they have been for some time. Maybe there's an empty space at the table where your loved one used to sit, and you're struggling to find that tenderness, courage, and hope. When holiday traditions change, it's natural for us to feel uncomfortable. All change produces discomfort, and discomfort is the place of thriving, inviting us to grow, flourish, and prosper, aka to thrive. We often overlook that invitation by speaking this lie: if I can just get through this, then the discomfort will go away. Some changes are temporary, yes. When holiday traditions change, however, that holiday sneakily shows up again every year. It's unsustainable to just get through the day year after year. How do you know if you're just getting through? You think and say things like, "It shouldn't be this way. Christmas just isn't the same. The holidays are hard for me." What if instead of getting through your holiday changes, you could grow because of them? What if you could use tenderness for times past to strengthen rather than weaken you? You would begin recounting memories with gratitude. What if you could summon courage for the present? You would stop avoiding emotional triggers and start claiming your power to make this new moment what you want it to be, rather than lamenting what it's not. What if it's possible to have hope about the future? You would begin planning for joy rather than planning to mourn. Don't believe the lie that you just have to get through the holidays when traditions have changed. Believe and practice the truth that each moment is one for you to choose to grow through. Choose tenderness for the past, courage for the present, and hope for the future. Share the love and share the show by tagging at Dr.SherrySpeaks on your Instagram story and using the hashtag Thriving Thoughts with Dr. Sherry. Speak truth over the lies and you will thrive in any and every circumstance.